What's up? So we outside and it's cold. You see me bundled up. There's the park right there. Back in the day, they used to have the little amusement park, Ferris wheels and all that stuff. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy week. Crazy week. I just finished Lady Day, her autobiography, the audiobook. 17 hours. It's a long audiobook. Maybe regarding about her herself, it maybe was like maybe 4 hours. But they went into detail about her grandparents, her mom, other musicians, which I like. I like learning about all this shit because it reinforces that there's nothing new under the sun. Where's the sun? Sun? No sun? I think it's up there. It's been done before. Although we come into this existence thinking we're the first. It's been done, you know? Like, not that I seen it, not that I care, but I heard that they were giving Rihanna flack for something. As I said, don't care. Don't be putting in the comment section what happened. But they did that to Lady Day. Amy Winehouse, you know, she had issues, blah, blah, blah. Lady Day did that first. Like, there's nothing new. It's just the same thing. My takeaway. So on one side, I'm like, when I'm recording my vocals for my challenge, I'm playing around with my voice. Because her thing was, she was a stylist. So she would like if she did the national anthem, and the rocket's red glare, but she might do, and I don't know, she wouldn't change the lyrics, but she would put syllable stresses and intonations on different places. And that's what people were coming to see, her interpretation of it. Some days it worked, some songs it did its thing, and other songs it didn't work. So it's kind of giving me the freedom to play around with how I say stuff. So before I would say things straight. I jump up on this microphone, but now I'm like, I jump up on this. I mean, if you're following the music of rhyming on whatever, you'll see what I'm talking about. Going all over the place. Find my voice. And then incidentally, I saw this thing from the dude who was Humpty Dumpty, Shakji, and he was just he died, but he was saying, he was imitating different people's voices. So he's like, myself and Slick Rick, we talk from our nasal, and then Nas talks from his throat, and then Biggie, like, I never really thought about that. I just was spitting it. But yeah, I wish you guys would read the book so that we could talk about it. We could get on email and Zoom and talk, but I know that's not going to happen. 17 hours. People don't even read like a 1 hour audiobook. But I don't know, part of me's upset though, because it'd be like, yeah, she was shooting heroin and she was so mean to people and she's telling them to fuck off, but I love her. She's such a beautiful soul. But then she would like what? Like, I can't fathom. Like, I don't go out of my way to be like extra nice to people, but I'm not mean. I'm just flat with it. Like, I come into a room, I may say good morning, I may not, but I'm not like trying to hurt anyone verbally, physically. I'm not trying to take anyone's money. If it came down to you're going to take it or I'm going to take it, go ahead and take it. Because I know I could make my own opportunities. And this isn't a now thing. Let's see, 16, 17, I don't remember, but around that age, my friends were smoking, and we were gonna go to the mall. But of course, they're gonna smoke on the way up to the mall. And my friend who was driving, he had a two-door car, so you got to do all that. So maybe 5 people could fit in there, maybe 6. I'm not so big, whatever. I could fit in there, squeeze in there. But, you know, the way his car was, you know, all the weight would push the thing down, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, okay, one of you can't come. And I'm like, you know what? You go. I'll just go to my house. I turn around. I walk off. And then they drive away. They didn't say, you know what? Let's stick around for Matt because it's kind of fucked up. We're going to leave him because I was with them the whole day, you know. But they drove away. And maybe that's when, because that's, I repeat myself like a old man that I am. But that's when I went home and I started doing the music. That became my friend. Not on that day, but if it's a movie, we're going to build it up. But basically, you know what? I choose music over drugs, alcohol, and that dumb shit. Anyway, but yeah. So it's weird reading this book. And like towards the end, they're just like, Lady Day, she would show us our grace. Grace is a divine thing from God. And Lady Day was sent here to test us. Maybe you got it, maybe you didn't. Like, what the? Now, I wasn't born yet, and I wasn't there on the scene. But just, like, she was a drug addict, and she was a lot of kids' godmothers. Like, she just made herself a godmother. And the author or the book writer were just like, yeah, we shouldn't be concerned about if she was a good godmother or not. But just know that she liked kids. What? Like it. I mean, maybe R. Kelly will get a book in a couple of years. Don't be concerned if he peed on girls. Be concerned that his music touched the world. And I hope my spirit or my whoever inherits, because when we die, we go back into they're going to be reading that book like, what? But, it was a good book. And I think my next book might be Count Basie, because his name came up a lot in her book. Or, I forget his name, Prez. I want to read a Dizzy Gillespie book, but there's no audio book. And I couldn't really find a book about it. So they're in queue. But my next book I'm reading is Fahrenheit 451. Because as I mentioned, it would be cool to read a book and discuss it with people. So I started my own book club on Meetup. And, a lot of people started joining it because I put the title, Does Anyone Read Books Anymore? And like 18 people signed up. Because I put, my friends are too cool to read books, blah, blah, blah. So I was trying to think of a book to read. What's a good book to start with? And then this one person just out the blue, just like, hey, and we were talking, and I don't know anything about him other than what we talked about. And she was saying she's interested in doing a daily journal about what she does and putting it in an Excel sheet. That way she could kind of see the pattern of what she's doing. And then she sends, you probably think I'm crazy. And I'm like, I'm excited now because I was checking right before I went to bed at 9 o'clock. But I'm like, what? And I'm like, I'm doing a 365 every day, and I did 365 a couple years ago, and I saw the patterns of my emotional state and she's like, wow, that's crazy. But then she goes, but that's not crazy. You know what I mean? So she's like, so you got a book yet? So then it just hit me. Fahrenheit 451 is like the perfect book because the story's about burning books. It was a dystopian future where if you were reading books or hoarding books, they would burn. I think they would kill you. I'm a little fuzzy. I read it twice and seen both of the movies. There's a version with the Black Panther guy. Who's the bad? He's not even a bad guy, but not the other guy, the one who came back and he beat up Black Panther and he took over, and then the cousin and Creed, that guy. So he's in it. I think it's a little early before now, so it's kind of weird saying him. I don't think he takes his shirt off once. I don't think he beats anybody up. Wait, there is a fight, but he's just like, whatever. So I picked that book, and I'm going to do 2 meetups. I'm going to do an online one, Zoom. And because some people are from like Philadelphia or even further. You guys could join too. That'd be cool. I'll put the link down there. You could join the Zoom. But, and I did one in person. So they'll be back to back. So one will be at the end of the month and one will be the first of the month. So I'm excited, man. But I got to read that book. Otherwise, that would defeat the purpose. But, so I'm excited about that. Today, I also had a meetup for an escape room. I had one lady who said she's going to bring someone. And then this one guy is like, he'll join, and then me. So it's been 3 people, which is cool. But in order to book the room, to reserve it, you have to get 4 people. And so in good faith, I bought all 4 tickets. And then the next day, she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm not feeling well. So there goes 2. And then I called the company like, yo, they said they can't come. Can I get my money back? Like, they gave me a voucher so I can use it at another date, which is cool, but it's $30 for 1 ticket. So I'm like, out, 100. So I got to figure out a better system. I mean, there's a feature where you can have people pay up front. But I'm just trying to make it smooth. No one really knows me. Maybe after a while, people know I'm dependable and my word is my bond. But I just don't go out sending money to random people. Because I'll run off with that shit. That is America. America. But, yeah. So, if you watched last week, I'm sorry about the football game for all the Eagles people. I know you guys were rooting for the Eagles. I mean, I'm from Pennsylvania. I went to school down in Philadelphia, and I do like green as a color. And eagles are a nice bird. Not really. If you ever look at an eagle, they're not the cutest looking, but you know, of birds, they're kind of apex doing their thing. But my dad was watching it, but he doesn't watch football. He don't even know what's going on with football. But my aunt watches football. So when my aunt comes over and there's a game on, she'll put it on and tell my dad what's going on. And then when she leaves, he keeps it on, and then he falls asleep. And then in the morning, he'll be like, this team won or lost. But, you know, I get the notification from Apple. It just tells you that. But on that day, last Sunday, I came out here, made my video, knowing that nobody's going to watch it. Who's going to watch my video on a football day? Like, oh, before I start this day, I got to check out what Ryman got to say. So I made the video. And then I came home. My dad's like, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to come over today because it's a football day. And then he's like, you know, I don't want anybody to come over anyway. Maybe someone's going to come over. I don't want anybody to come over. Okay, if your aunt calls, tell her I don't want her to come over. I go, whatever. So then there's a knock at the door, and my aunt comes. Oh, she has a key, but she just kind of walks in. She's like, hello, everyone. And I'm like, hi, auntie. And then I'm like, Dad, your sister's here. So she sits down, and they turn on the game, pregame. And then my cousin, my dad's nephew, or my aunt's son, he comes over. So that's 2 people. And then the pregame is on, and they were planning to leave because my aunt says when she's watching the game, she's all like getting super excited and stuff. And she does whatever. Because for the most part, my dad talks over the game because he's not watching it. But anyway. So they're doing their thing. And I think I went to get pizza. I don't know. Usually when people come to visit my dad, I leave that way. You know, he has people at the house for him, so he could be entertained. And then I came back, and you know, she's happy, which is good. And I always thank my aunt. Thank you for coming, because yeah. Now, ain't nobody come to see. Well, actually, I can't say that. My coworker from Japan, she came to visit me from Baltimore by bus. There's irony there. She came. She stayed over for a day. But no one else. But it is what it is, you know. I'm truly not losing sleep over that. Last night I was losing sleep. It was so cold, man. Like, you see I'm bundled up. It's getting warm now. We might even walk and talk. coming down here, my feet were frozen. That's why I set it up like this. But now it's sun's out here. But it was really cold, man. I have 3 sheets, like comforter type sheets. But every time my foot would like go, like I curl up into a little ball. But when my leg would extend out, it'd be like cold patches of land. And then I shaved. I got a little haircut, whatever. So my head doesn't have hair, what little hair there was, to protect me from the cold ass pillow. It was, and I kept snapping out of sleeping because it was cold. I might have to get like a pajama, a little bear suit pajama or something. I mean, it's only, what, 4 more weeks till spring comes? So I'm hoping I could make it. Because then I would have survived my house. In the summer, we don't put up air conditioners. I don't pull out the fan to blow the hot air around. In the winter, I'm at the mercy of whatever my dad sets the thermostat at. But I survived without complaining. Just suck it up. Grit my teeth. But, yeah. So, as I mentioned last Friday, the teacher quit. Last Thursday, the teacher quit because she was having trouble with the class and she had a parent-teacher conference, and it kind of came down to either you do something or I'm out, and I guess that's what happened. No one really told me the details. Friday, I was teaching a class, and I mentioned that the other teacher, 6th grade teacher, was annoying, and I asked if I should talk to her, and some of you said don't do that. It's not my nature. Because I found that even if I were to talk to someone, it would just escalate things. Because I'm not coming on some, I think and I feel, I'm coming on some, on September 32nd, you said this. And this is your action. And, said, but, and then I usually get hit with this. Why didn't you tell me then? Why should I? You're an adult. Why am I going to tell you every little thing you do? I mean, people do that, though. I saw this meme. It's not even a meme, but it was Michael Jackson, young Michael Jackson, flat-nosed Michael Jackson, and he's at some pool party, and he's saying something about something, and then the person he was next to, some woman, she's like, and then Michael Jackson's like, your voice is annoying. It sounds like Carol Burnett. Like, that's what people do. That's the 80s or whatever. People cannot filter. They think if they got a thought, they gotta, which I don't get that. Sometimes you just gotta tell. And the internet, just, how many times do people little tweet and then they try to remove it, but everyone's screen captured it. That's the world we live in. And that's kind of why Japan kind of worked for me, because Japanese people don't normally go out of the way to tell people what to do. I mean, parents do that, mother-in-laws do that, what have you. But in general, they're not out. So it worked for me. But coming back here, it's like everybody has to have a comment about something. Even if it's not even. So yeah. So that's why. So that's me. So people can do all this stuff. I'll see it. I'll put it in they're human. People make mistakes. But usually whatever mistake humans make is kind of their MO, Like, I ain't perfect, So things I do, I probably do it all the time. And that's what I do. So, again, that's how I deal with other people. Hey, this person's loud. They're always going to be loud. Let them be. Now, if they're being loud to me, then we might have an issue. But, in general, they're doing what they got to do. So anyway, on Monday I come to school, and it was Monday. The principal comes and she kind of gives me a heads up on everything that's going on in this, what I would need to do. This is this, and she asked me if I want to do the job. And I'm like, yeah, when I hear back from my company, because clearly because she already told the company she's thinking about, so it's already above my head, the priest, because we're a Catholic school, and the director of the diocese in my company, they're all talking. So I'm like, yeah, when I hear back from them, because maybe I can negotiate a better price for me. Or let's see what it is. So on Monday, she's showing me what I would, once everything goes through, the different websites. And it's really overwhelming because usually teachers are trained by the teacher who's leaving. You just don't get dropped into it. But it just so happens that I am able and capable. Like if I was a piece of shit, I don't even. So the people who worked with me, there was 4 of us. One got fired. I don't know why. I think I know why. I don't even think it was her fault, but she got fired. And then the other 2 were let go or removed from the school. So I'm the last one standing. And, if I wasn't who I am, I'm a man of my word. I was never late. I don't cause friction. Friction is going to happen, but I don't cause it. I try to smooth it out as much as possible, although an object in motion cannot be stopped into an equal force. So it's overwhelming, but the principal, she's just like, just do what you can. And, she's been supportive-ish. So Monday goes, and I'm trying my best to pick up the religion book, make a lesson plan, and then teach the kids. I know a religion, but this is Catholic religion. So when they be talking about ordinary time, I could do what is ordinary time and have the kids count and whatever. But it was just, so the whole week was just really kind of retraining the kids. Training them to raise their hand, training them to sit in their seat, training them to make a line. They cannot make a line. Now, no one in the school can make a line. 5th grade, 8th graders, the pre-kindergarten, I haven't seen a perfect line yet. They just be mobbing up. So I'm like, listen, if you guys can't make a line, we could practice this at recess. Like, no! I'm not playing with it. So first day we come out there, I have my little 5th graders making the line. They made it out there in the line in front of the 6th graders. And then, but it's always the end because, there's 20 kids. So if I'm in the front of the line, I don't know what's going in the back of the line. If I'm in the back of the line, I don't know what's going in the front of the line. If I'm on the side, But what intrigues me is the challenge, because 2 teachers quit since I've been there. So they couldn't handle it. My class is like the underdogs of this school. When they're walking, every teacher is going to yell at them. So I feel if you're getting spiritual, that's where God wanted me. He wanted me to take that 15 years of Japan and and he put me in this school for these kids, and I'm up for the challenge, which is fine. Every day, I found if I write the instructions on the board, there's no way they can forget it, because when they start, because they do this, they just stand up and walk somewhere, and I'll be like, where you going? I'm going to the garbage. I was like, did you raise your hand? I didn't know. I could just point to the board. And then the morning work, I had them read the board, and one kid's like, what do we read? And I have to put read in red on top of the board with an arrow to because again, it's a game. They can win on technicalities. You didn't tell me I could do that. I said to them, if you want to use your iPad, you have to ask. The assumption was, if you're finished with your work and we don't have anything else to do, you can use your iPad. But I just wrote, you gotta ask. So every 3 seconds, can I use the iPad? Can I use my iPad? Can I use my iPad? Can I use my... And it wasn't the bad kids. It was the good kids who listened and they saw that loophole. So I gotta be 1, 2, 10 steps ahead of them. Gotta think how they would think. I gotta be the kid. For pencils, they don't have pencils, so I had to buy pencils. Had to sharpen those pencils. They are pre-sharpened pencils, which I bought a box today. 150 cool pencils. Not even just the yellow one. They got little things on it. This is out of my pocket too. The principal, she's great and all, but between the time she says, okay, I'll get there, just wait, it may not come, and we need pencils now because if the kids do not have pencils, which some of them don't, they use whatever they have, markers, highlighters. I had one kid, he raised his hand. He said, "Can I sharpen my pencil?" I said, "No, I'll just get you one," because I already sharpened it that day. He's like, no, I want to sharpen it. I said, I bet you I can hand you a pencil before you could finish sharpening, because he had the little twisty one. So he walks over, doot, 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 doot. I let him get his little head start. I come over, dum, 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 pick up the pencil, put it on his desk. I say, "You finished?" He's like, "I'm still doing it." So it's just cutting them off before they can. And so it's exciting. It's like in a Rubik's Cube. How can you solve it? And I'm going to beat this into their heads. It'd be like, "Listen, you guys have to be here. I want to be here." So hopefully they get the message. I'm just going to keep saying it. You have no choice. Your parents sent you here. Because, so the principal asked me yesterday, she said, "So would you take the position if we offered, I'll send you the contract, but you'll get paid less and you'll work a lot more." So at my previous job, 8 to 2, and I'm out. As a teacher, it's 8 to 2 or 8 to 3. And if I don't finish grading, and if I have to do, so all this week, I was going to school at 6:30. Waking up at 4 as I do, but I couldn't do my music because I had to, do whatever. And then off to work at 6, get there at 6:30, just to find shit. Because the way the teacher left she just left. So I don't know what is, what's this, what do we need, where this, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Her desk still has her little snacks in there. There's 2 bags of socks, which I might take, because they're black socks. I might take those. But just a bunch of random shit. There's papers on the floor that has dust on it. There's papers from Christmas. So it's 2 months. I don't know what now, I know what she was doing because she had a book. It said teacher's log. I open it up and it goes, January 1st, little Tommy was being rude. I told him to apologize. He would not. January 3rd, Lisa was standing up again. She's doing a log of, now you got to keep a record, and she would always say, "That's an infraction." And the kids threw that at me. "If we get in trouble, are we getting an infraction?" Ooh, don't ever say that word again. There's no infractions happening. What will happen is you will be accountable for your actions, but refractions? No, not refraction, infraction. But yeah, it's so I don't know what she was doing. I don't find her as a good teacher. I got a really great question because we were doing science, and the kid asked me, "How do rocks get into the water?" And it was a real question, not like a smart alecky one. And I don't know. I mean, I believe the water comes after the rocks, or the water is coming up through the rocks, the rain, or it's coming from the mountain, and then the rocks would break up. But I don't want to just off the cuff. I want to have a real good answer, and I want to tell her. And then another kid's like, "Doesn't rocks make salt?" I don't think so, unless it's already. So these are really great questions, which they couldn't ask this other teacher that because she would be yelling at them for whatever. So yeah, it was a crazy week. We were slowly making progress. Class was kept at a minimum. I bought the clocks, one Flavor Flav clock and then one little digital clock. They came into the classroom and said, "Oh, we got a clock. It looks nice." How the hell? Again, how can you be in that room, the teacher before me, 2 teachers, look up and see the clock's broken and never think, "Well, just let me get a clock." Even I paid $15 for the clock. It's not that expensive, like $12. So now, and I put a digital clock and a regular clock, so they can look at that, and then through osmosis, they'll start to see that they'll be able to tell the time. I'm actually going to test it on it, but shit like that. And then I tell the principals oh, Matthew, you're the perfect person to be here. Yes. Yeah. What they had me doing before all this was when the 6th grade teacher needed to go potty. She said, "Mr. Bailey, I have to go potty. Can you watch the kids?" And then she goes off. And then she would come back in the classroom and say, "You guys are so loud, I heard you in the hallway." Then don't go potty. One day I didn't have to go potty, but I had to go, but I can't leave the class. So I was stuck there from 8 to 3. I didn't leave the room. I just held it. Meanwhile, my kids are in the class. I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom. And they're getting all red in the face and all like temper tantrum. I gotta go. So I spent like one day, one kid went 5 times out of class. So I did a little sign out sheet and he just kept going. Look, I really gotta go. I drank a lot of water. Now I gotta go pee. So I learned, I watched, I seen what they're doing. So the next day I wrote on the board, no one is going to the bathroom until this time. And I put it all big, bold. I had a bunch of things. And then the kids, again, I'm watching them. And so the kids are reading what I wrote. So I put do not, and they're like, do not stand up. I'm like, that's not what I mean. So I put a please in front of it. Please do not stand up. Please. But then for the bathroom, I still kept it. Do not go. And we went, the day before, we had a sign-up sheet with 50 slots on it. And it was filled. After I put it on the board, only 5 people went to the bathroom. 2 people went out for a drink. So it's like just, no, and I mean, I could spend all day talking about these kids because and someone said in the comment, I do enjoy this. But one kid, he raised his hand, he asked if he could blow his nose because they like doing that too. Anything to get out their seat. So I was looking online on Amazon because I bought my pencils, whatever. I was going to get each one a little thing of tissues. But the school, because this is all out of my pocket. So I'll give them a packet of tissues on their desk. And then somehow a little garbage thing on the side of their desk. So there's no reason to get them. You just got to cut them off before they can even. But he gets up, he blows his nose, and then I look over and he's like dancing in the middle of the room. And I'm like, man, what are you doing? He's like, I'm blowing my nose. I'm like, the garbage is? Where's the garbage? He points there. Where's your seat there? How'd you get over there? He's like, I don't know. I'll never do it again. And he kind of walks away dejected. I'm like, listen, man, you're human. It happens. Just try to do better next time. He's like, okay. Which is a 180 from, get out of your seat. It's an infraction. So I feel good so far. As far as the contract would go, it more or less would be like I'm taking a 40% pay cut. And I'm doing more work. Teaching, that is a thankless job. I mean, to each their own. If I wanted to pursue sports where they make $8 billion or whatever, we all made our decision. That's fine. But you would think that the government or whoever would put more attention to the teachers who are with the kids who are going to be thrown out into society. If like this, the way my students were and the way the teacher was, if they were to leave society, if they were to like go out into the world, they would have the idea that all adults are just out to get them and disrespect. Where I'm coming with, treat people how you want to be treated. I hit them with this phrase. I wrote on the board. I said, actions speak louder than words. And they're like, what does that mean? And I'm just like, I don't really care what you say. It's what you do, And they were responsive to it. I mean, I don't think they ever heard it, but I'm going to be the example of how they should be in the class. The one girl that got a detention or got in trouble for being sassy, she smiles. She'd be like, Mr. Big, like, respect this. But, yeah. So, I'll get 40% less, and I'm going to be work maybe 80% more. That's kind of sucks. And the way the school is, I'm like all the people who are hired with me are out of the school. So I'm all by myself. And if I leave the company, I'll be in the diocese. I'll be under the Catholic umbrella. And I'm not Catholic. But you're like, it's cool. Some people aren't. I still got to go to mass. Next week is Ash Wednesday. It's going to be a longer ceremony, which I'm okay with the ceremony. But my kids, they fidget. They just can't sit still, and it's going to be on me. So that's the thing. But then the bright side, currently I don't have insurance, anything, right? So if I sign the contract, then I will get like insurance, health, dental, what have you, which is great because then I could do my dental. I can do my dental. I can, because remember I was telling you, the price they threw at me was like $12,000. I'll do some searching, whatever, but I think it's like 40% deductible or whatever, so I can get all those banged out. The contract would be to June, so between now and June, I'm just going to be going in there, and from what they said, I can do all that in one day, and then I can get my braces. So the kids, working with the kids and helping them be productive, that's a plus. The dental, that's a plus, or the insurance and all that. And then for the resume, when I leave there, the principal, now I don't know if she'll stay there because she got to deal with everything. I'm only dealing with the 5th grade and the 6th grade teacher, which I'll get into that. So 6th grade teacher, right? On Monday or Tuesday, she comes into the classroom. I get there at 6, 7 in the morning, whatever. She comes in there at 7:30. She comes into my classroom. Somebody was in my room. I put the blinds down. Someone's in my room. And I'm like, why are you telling me? I don't care. There's a camera in the hallway, so go check the feed. You can see if someone opened the door or not. Why are you talking to me? I don't say anything. I'm just kind of, was anything taken? Like, no, but the blinds were up. Then she leaves the room. Then she comes back. Oh, there's a printer in there. That's a nice printer. It's not yours. I'm going to take it. I'm like, well, you probably need it more than me. It's a wireless one, so she's trying to set it up. It's not working. She's like, She's like, and then she walks out. I look at this printer. I go over there. I click on her. There's a little help thing, and it has a video. Little videos on the printers like that. I take the laptop that I have. I look for the thing, and boom. I wasted a whole piece of paper to print. Word or something, whatever. I was going to run over to her room and say, I got it to work, but I'm like, no. End of the day, she pops her head in. She's just like, do you know something? And I was like, here, and I'm like, yes. She says, she grumbles away. Like, what? The next day, I'm trying to do my lesson, or Wednesday or whatever, and this other teacher comes in. She's like, did you know there's going to be a lockdown tomorrow? A lockdown drill? And I'm like, what? I know that the 6th grade teacher knew this because they get the emails. I'm not in the email system yet. So if I don't hear from the principal and no one tells me, I don't know. So how would I? So I'm kind of annoyed at that. Not the kids, but not the principal, but the teacher. I'm her colleague now. So then she comes in and she's just like, oh, this is so beautiful. It's not beautiful, it's annoying. But on Thursday, so I heard about it on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, the principal asked me to go to a morning meeting with the teachers to pray. Now, I'm already at the school at 6 o'clock, 6:30. So I'm already there, whatever. So I go there, and then all the teachers come in. Only one teacher says, hi, Mr. Bailey. All the other teachers kind of walk by. Like I'm some super outsider, which I am. But everyone knows that I'm in there doing God's work. This is a Catholic church. I'm in there trying to mold these 5th graders that have scared away 2 teachers. So they talk about the lockdown, and we're going to have a fire drill. So they talk about all that stuff. And then after, maybe everything is finished, Then the 6th grade teacher comes running in. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so late. Oh, I was stuck behind a train. I was stuck behind a plane. I was stuck behind traffic. And then she sits down. And then the principal's like, all right, you guys can go. Well, actually, I don't know if she said it, but I seen other teachers walking away. So I go back to my classrooms because the kids are going to start coming in and I got to write the rules on the board. So after I get in the classroom, I'm writing the things on the board. The 6th grade teacher comes in. She pops her head and she says, "You didn't come to the meeting. So I think you should talk to the principal because there's some important information about the lockdown." I say, "There's this dog without a leash. What the hell does..." Okay, there's a person. Anyway, so I say, "I was at the meeting." She says, "Oh, you know everything." And then she turns to one of the students. "You're going to have a lockdown." The kid's like, "A lockdown?" She's like, "Yeah, ask your teacher." And then she storms out, mumbling again. I'm like, what is... Now it's comical. I'm physically there. I seen her walk in late and she's telling me I wasn't there. And at no point, like, she could verify, oh yeah, Matthew came in, he was sitting there on the corner by himself. Even the principal said, because it was like, she said, "I'm going to have another teacher come down with you during lockdown because," and then she said to everyone, "We all know how 5th grade is. Mr. Bailey knows." So anyone could acknowledge I was there. So just shit like that. So I told her, you know, I can do I'll take the pay cut because I can make it work with the benefits. And the kids, we're building up a rapport. We're taking baby steps. And I got ideas and, you know, I don't know how much they're going to learn in religion, science. Vocabulary is easy, just whatever. But we'll get there. I mean, she doesn't seem to be in a rush. I think she's just happy that someone is in the room, not causing a ruckus. I mean, the teacher before me, I think I mentioned her. One day I came down and she was sitting in the doorway yelling at some kid. And then I went to the bathroom, and when I came back down, she was in this room banging on the wall. Bang, bang. And the principal was coming down to soothe out whatever. And there was another lady in there. Like, she was not fit to teach. Since I've been there, I mean, the kids are just... Right now, they're under the... They don't know. If no one told them, how can they know? And I was telling the principal, I think it's because I think like a child. I'm childlike. It's not a diss to myself, but I think on some, be nice to people and people be nice to you. And, you know, people say, no, that's not realistic. I'm on you know, follow your dreams and everything will work itself out. That's not how it works. Because, no, I just finished a 17-hour book on Billie Holiday. I didn't need to read all that to know this, but life is not fair. I mean, she was prostituted before she was of age. It's not fair. There's people supplying her with their heroin. There was one story where it was like, she's trying to kick the habit and her boyfriend, pimp boyfriend would come over and be like, I got some stuff for you. She had all those fake friends coming around with, like, people are stealing her money. You know, we don't live in a fair world. But I have noticed throughout all these books I'm reading that childlike mindset. I think that's what Peter Pan was all about. When you grow up, you lose the ability to fly, to dream. I still dream in color, man. Like, when I go to sleep, I sleep nice. I'm not stressed about this, that, or the third. I sleep. When I see a sunset, like, you see me sometimes, I'm walking, like, oh, look, there's a bird. It does give me joy. When I was doing photography, every photo I take was joyous. Like, I think people lose that when they start to grow up too fast, which I also tell that to my kids. Like, we be doing something, and I'm like, it's 3:30, we have to leave now. Or I'm like, I wrote on the board, be a student. Your job is just to listen and to sit there and do your work and enjoy life. You don't want to grow up too fast and have to be in a position where you got to tell people the time and stuff. I got it. Relax. One kid's like, so what should I do? I'm like, do some seat yoga. He's like, da-da-da-da. He's one of the good kids. But yeah, it's, so I was telling the principal, I don't know if I could be bigger than the 6th grade teacher. I don't know if I could be a bigger person. Like that's like, I could read books and I could learn how to be better on myself. I could fix me, whatever. I can keep my mouth shut and I could focus on what needs to be focused on. I was telling the principal, the big picture is we got these kids without a teacher and they're just going to go to 6th grade anyway. So the big picture is we should figure out ways to get them ready to, because clearly they don't got it yet. I mean, you know, she don't got to like me. My brother would always say, how would he say? I'm not here to be your friend. In the MBA school, there was a teacher who said that first day. He's like, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to da-da-da-da. And he said some politically incorrect something. And his non-friends threw him under the bus. You know, you just gotta, I'm sure if he was everyone's friends, they'd be like, oh no, he didn't say that. Or they, kind of like with Billie Holiday. Everyone's just like, oh no, she was always nice to me. She was always nice. But then the next sentence, I once seen her beat somebody up with a bottle, but she was always nice to me. There's one, I know I'm jumping all around. But there's one story where she's like, she went to the bathroom. She went into the man's bathroom and she went up to the urinal and I don't know the mechanics. I never seen it. I guess it's out there on the web. But she's standing next to him and she's doing her business. And she's like, what's up? I don't know. And the guy who was saying it, he's just like, I've never seen a woman pee in a urinal. I've never seen a woman pee in a... I did take a picture because we were doing a photo shoot. And at the end of it, I'm like, you know, this would be a great idea. Can you go stand in the bathroom and I would show, no, if you want to see it, ask me. But, so I took a picture of her, whatever. But she wasn't peeing her. She was standing there in front of it looking like she was going to. But, yeah. So, yeah, that's everything. Everything in a nutshell. So, I guess the last thing I could say is, oh yeah, well, we're just all over the place. But, man, it's warm. Let me walk and talk. It was so cold coming up here. But, so as far as school goes, so I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the pay cut, but do the benefits, get all my dental done, as whatever. And take it from there. Because if I could successfully do all this, when I do apply for another job, I have this experience and the principal. Now again, this is my naiveness. I would assume she's going to write, Matthew was a great employee. He stepped up and worked even in a hostile environment. But I don't know, she could quit before that happens, or something could happen where when I become the teacher, I'm responsible for their well-being. And every time I turn around, these kids got scissors in their hands, cutting nothing. They just got it. Cut. They keep picking the chairs up above their head to get from there's going to be an accident. So I got to lay the law down, but they just seem intent on doing these things. So if something happens, that might end up in the file. He was a great teacher till Timmy popped his eye out. So, but, am I even in the right place? I don't think so. Well, let's see what's down here. But yeah, man, it's an experience. There's the path down there. Back in the day, my friends and I would probably figure out how to get from here to there. But I don't be doing that shit no more. No mores. But yeah. So today I'm going to the movies. I joined another meetup group, and they're gonna watch Ant-Man. And it's interesting because I don't know anybody. It's gonna be a bunch of strangers. The mix is half and half, women and men. The host is a black guy. He actually joined my meetup, so it'll be cool to meet. It seems he does a lot of these, so get some insight on how it goes. Because really, with meetups, you just don't want to be you don't want to be stuck with the bag. For the movie thing, you could buy your tickets. For the escape thing, you know, you have to book it in advance. But so I don't know how that's going to turn out, but I'm excited because I want to see the movie. I don't necessarily want to go by myself. I watched Avatar by myself. I watched another movie by myself. But you know, it's nice to go with people, although I won't know them, strangers. And afterward, they're going to have a dinner at a diner. So I might go to that too. Because I got money now. I could do stuff. Pay bills. Yeah. I can buy my computer now. But I think I should hold off until jobs and contracts are signed. Because the company I work with, they said, if I quit before the end of the contract, all the training that I did, I have to pay them back. Which I think is stupid. I'm gonna hit them with the breach of contract. I've been working for your company I've been working for your company, because right now I'm still working, they paying me. But what I was contracted to do, I'm doing more than that. So you're in breach of contract. So leave my plus when I asked for help, you didn't help me. So leave my money alone, let that shit be amicable, and let's be good. But now I'm in America. In Japan, you try to do that shit, and you get a bunch of, I do not just speak English. But we in great America, man. I'll just sue them. I love the kids and all, but if I can get money off of that, breach of contract, go to Judge Judy. Now, I don't know if Judge Judy would be on my side. Because they can counter it with, well, if you knew that you're doing more work than you should be doing, then why didn't you quit? Why didn't you raise a flag then? Which is a good point. But I'm a counter with, because it wasn't in the best interest of the children. I'm here to work for the children. And the children needed a teacher and a role model. And that's what I did. That might work. Like, But since I be making all these videos, they might see this and they'd be like, yeah, that strategy. Because, you know, it's the internet. It might happen that way. But yeah, long story short, you got a fire truck in the back. I saw a fire the other day, like a house was on fire. It was on the highway, not on the highway. From the highway, you could see this house is in flames, like the roof was on fire. It was crazy, because you know someone lived there. Like how? Like it's. Like in general, it takes a lot to start that kind of fire. Like if you light your bed on fire, it may. But anyway, you don't want to focus on such negative things. But Fahrenheit 51, what a beautiful segue. So I'm gonna put the link to my new meetup group. Doesn't matter where you live in the world, you can join it. You got a week to read the book, and then I'm gonna post what we're gonna discuss about. And it's a book that's probably got like things online about it. It's in most libraries. Probably could find some PDFs and all that. But yeah, man, that's about it. That's everything. I'm in good health. I'm in good spirits, and my dad's good. And you know, work is work, but I'm making the best of it, as I always do. I found that my whatever I am, it's like I feel like my the sixth grade teacher was trying to see me fail. Like she purposely was just like, well, I'm not going to tell him, and then he's going to fall on his ass. Like, why would you do that? But I find when I'm in that kind of situation, that's when I shine. Not so much to like the idea that you're going to hate on someone. I'm going to make them fail or whatever. And then they don't fail. That's the worst, because I mean, the principal said maybe she's jealous of you. And I'm like, come on now. I hate when people say that. Yeah, they were jealous. I ain't doing all that for jealousy. That don't get me off. You know? Someone's like, I'm so jealous you got 800 videos on YouTube. I didn't make it for you to be jealous. I make it, one, because I want to make it. And that's that. You know? Don't be jealous of people. You don't know what they're going through. And shit, I'm right there. Like, if she were to ask me, how do you do what you do? I would tell her, this is what I did. This is how I did that. And I would ask her, how do you do? Because she's a science teacher. And she's been teaching for, I don't know. I want to say she's been teaching for 3 years. I don't think she's been like a long-term teacher. Hence why she has her issues. But she has experience. I would love to tap into, she would know about. Like I did math the other day, Wednesday. And you know that little kneeler seat thingy? I didn't know if I should pull it down because wouldn't it be blasphemous? So I'm just like fake kneeling, and she's like, Mr. Bailey, whispering. I look over, she's like, you gotta use the kneeler thing. I'm like, I don't know. It's weird. I didn't want to. So I'm gonna be in that situation a lot because it's a Catholic church. Do I have to cross my heart and all that? Is there direction? Do I gotta memorize the prayers? Because I don't want to. I ain't Catholic. And then there's the whole, if this is a Catholic school, why is she such a hater? That seems hypocritical. You know? I could see if we're in a detention school. Everyone's hardened. But this is like a Catholic school. It doesn't seem right. But I told this all to the principal. And she said she's going to talk to the teacher eventually. I don't know what she's waiting for. I did throw it out there that she might quit too. You might end up with another teacher leaving. And I truthfully, I'm just here to help out. And when you found someone, everything would be less discombobulated, And the more I talk, she just keeps thinking, wow, you are the best person to be here. But, yeah. But that's one. I mean, it's the principal. So that's good. I have her appreciation. All the other teachers do not look at me. There's one guy, he'd be standing right here. I'm walking here. He doesn't look away. He just, as if I'm not there. Which that irks me. But it does take two. I could say good morning or whatever. But I feel slighted because when he was a sub, he came to the school and for 6th grade, and the kids were being their usual selves, and I said, this is the way they are, and just relax, and I'll try to help you with where things are, help them with names. And then by the end of the day, he called the office, called the principal, and he went in the principal's office and he sat there. And the secretary came into the room and to turn off the lights, and she was yelling and all that. The next time he came, the principal didn't tell him which room he's going to. They're like, oh, we just need you. Gets to the school, they send him to 6th grade. They're like, they didn't even tell me. And he said, verbatim, I never want to see you kids again. So I think I could, so maybe it is a jealousy thing, because I'm down there in 5th grade. We having fun. We got our jokes. I see smiles. I don't spend so much time correcting their behaviors, just learning how I would like their behaviors to be. So maybe they're jealous that little old me, which that could be it. But even still, what's that got to do with me? I ask. It's not like I'm waving around like, look at me, best teacher of the year. I mean, again, we're teachers. We're providing a service. But anyway, y'all know how I be. But thank you for watching this long ass rant. I had to get off my chest, and I did. Now I already did my song for the day. That's up. I'm gonna get ready for the movies. I'm excited. I'm gonna get me a shaver, because I think it's impractical to go to the barbershop and pay $40 to shave my head when I could get one of those Gillette looking things, the electric ones. That way I could look fresh every day, and then just shave up the goatee and the sideburns and all that. Which, that makes so much sense, but no one ever told me that. No one ever threw that out at me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, thanks for watching. Peace. Enjoy your 3-day weekend if that happens to be you. And yeah, I'm